Greetings, you're welcome to today's episode of my continuous tutorial on academic content. So today I want to show you something about styles. How do we create styles? Especially if you are going to write professional thesis, if you are going to write a proposal, whether it is academic proposal or it is a proposal for a project, there is something you need which we call referencing numbers or sectioning. And you have tables, you have figures, and they have to be labeled with some numbers. And the numbers will have to follow a particular pattern. A whole lot of students have a whole difficulty in doing this. So today I want to show you a video on how to be able to set up your styles. And then the rest of the issues come in very handy. So, okay, so let me pick up one here. So let's look at an example here. So if I come to, like, this is my introduction where I've highlighted my problem statement. You see that the introduction is 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. If I am the one that is going to be writing all this 1.1, 1.3, it's going to get to a point I may even forget. And when you forget it, definitely the reviewers will notice that no, the numbers are not consistent. The one here means chapter 1. And then here means the first subtopic under chapter 1. This is the second one, that's 2, then in that order. So if I come here and let's say I wanted to insert something else. So let's say, do I have to write 1.7? No, you don't have to do that. So what do? You go to your home tab, you go to styles, and here I'm looking at header 2. So I mistakenly picked header 3. This is header 2. So you see that it gives me automatic 1.7. And that is it. So if I come again and let's say I want another one. So I will simply come to my header 2 again and that will give me 1.8. So I can type whatever that I want to type. Now let us assume that I wanted to insert, maybe I've noticed that after the research objectives, maybe I want to put significance of the study. And so if I come here, it means I will have to change everything that is down. So that place will now become 1.5. Okay. But because I've already set up the style, if I come and click on header 2 here, you see that the rest automatically updates. And this is the beauty of why you need to know how to set up your styles, and then the rest become in handy. So I can now simply write my significance of the study. And then maybe, don't mind the spelling, I'm just trying to, okay. So this is how the whole thing is. Maybe if you're not getting it, let's me pause and then delete everything. So I am going to start with chapter 1. Do I have a, sorry, yeah, chapter 1. Do I have to write here chapter 1 and then put chapter 1 and come and say here, come and click there? No, you need to set up everything. So what I need to go to my styles and then pick my header 1, which I've already linked it. So it will automatically give me chapter 1. If I go again and then I go to that place to give me chapter 2. If I enter again, it will give me chapter 3 and chapter 4, chapter 5, and then chapter 6. If I come to chapter 1 here, and I want the first subtopic, let's say introduction. You see, the introduction I have here, if I highlight on it or even if my cursor on it and I click header 2, it will automatically give me 1.1. It means I am in chapter 1 and then the first subtopic. Let me say I want to do a problem statement. And so I will simply come and click on header 2 and it will give me problem statement. So I have my problem statement. Now, if it were in chapter 2, the numbering will start with 2.1 in that order. So let's say I want to say introduction to the literature review. So I can highlight on it. Maybe I can just highlight on it like this and come and click my header 2. You see that it automatically gives me 2.1. It means I am in chapter 2, then in that order. So when you set up your styles, it makes your work very neat. And one more important thing I want you to pay attention is if I decide to want to insert a table or a figure, the figures and the tables are labeled based on the chapter or the chapter under which they fall. Let's say under chapter 2, I want to insert a table here. And so I want to have the table caption here. So I can simply come to, and table captions are references, please. So I'll go to reference, and then I will simply say I want to insert a caption. But what caption am I inserting? You need to come to this point and I will select table. And then you notice that automatically it gives you table 2.1, telling you that you are inserting the table in chapter 2, and that's the first table. So if I click, maybe that table is what? Maybe let's say is summary stars, and that's it. So I insert the table caption, which is there, and then I can now come and insert the table under it. Okay, so I'll come here and say, let me insert the table under it, and then the table is inserted. So maybe if I highlight here, go to my home tab, and I click on tables, you see that it is very much okay like this. And so I have it like this. So that's my table 2.1. If I insert another table, it will be table 2.2. And then in that order, telling you that the table is inserted in chapter 2. So this is what, when you set up your styles, this is what it does for you. Now, the next part of this video, I'm going to show you how to set up your styles to be able to get all that I have just shown you. So let me insert a new worksheet. So I'm going to my file, come to document, and this is brand new. So if you check, there's no any style here. For instance, if I come and click on header 1 here, you won't see anything because we have not set up anything yet. So now we are going to start from scratch. So we are starting from scratch. So let me close this. I'm not saving anything. So we are starting from scratch. We come here, blank space. And then now let's set up our styles. This is where our styles are. This is where styles are. You can see it from here. So we simply come and click on this drop down, and then you can see all the style. This is header 1, header 2. We can actually have header 3, then in that order. The first style we are going to set is header 1. The heading 1 is the most important. So we come and click on heading 1. Now we go all the way to our lists. We go all the way to something we call multi-level lists. It's found under the home tab, and then you can see it just next to numbering. Okay, so you see here multi-level list. Click on that, go all the way down. You will see something called define new multi-level list. You click on that, and then you can see that we have one that is on the left hand side where my cursor is pointing, and that's chapter 1 linking to header 1. And so when we come to this part, if it wasn't header 1, you need to select header 1 here, and then select level 1, and then in that order. Then when you come here, enter formatting for number, and that's what is taking chapter 1. And then here the font is just that, what that is if you want. And we are starting at 1. So it will be chapter 1. So number style for this level, it should be 1, 2, 3. So the next one will be chapter 2, and then in that order. So what next? Indentation. For indentation is whether we want it to be closer to the left side, to the right side, to be in the middle. Then what about alignment and all of that? No, we just wanted to keep it at where they are. Now, mostly this place, you would have seen something like nothing. So you need to either choose space or tab. So I'm choosing space, and then that's it. At the moment, don't click OK yet. When you click OK, it means you have created only the OK. Let me click OK. So you notice that we now have chapter 1 here. If I enter and then I'll go to click on the header 1 again, you see that header 1 has already been linked to the chapter, so it will give me chapter 2. If I come again and I click on that, it will give me chapter 3. But we have not set the other ones, that's header 2 and header 3. So let me take out this and then come to the same thing where we were. Go back to the multi-level lists, come to this, so it will take you to where we were. And then from here, we are going to the left-hand side and click 2. 2 means that's header 2. That's our heading 2, which has been identified here. So we have our heading 2, then it's going to be level 2, which is here. And then when we come to this place, automatically, you will see that the numbers have been 1.1, telling you that is chapter 1. And then, so everything will start with the chapter number, which is chapter 1. And then it will follow by these numbers, which are here. So number style for this. Perhaps initially you might not have seen this because I've worked over and this. What you would have seen would have been empty spaces like this. So you needed to come here first, include level number from. So you come here and say 1. And then you put point over there, and then that is your separator. Then come to number style for this list. So you come and click here and say you want it to be 1, 2, 3. And then it will give you this 1.1. Then when you come to this level, so we are taking this from level 1. So restart list after level 1. And then that is it. So now let's look at indentation. So we are saying that for the second subheadings, we want the indentation to maybe 0.3 from the left side, and then that is just fine. And then the alignment will also 0.3, then we leave it at that place. And we come to follow number with, so we come to this place and say we want it to be space. Obviously, on your computer, you may see nothing. So select space. And then when you are done, then you click OK. But we have another level, and that level is 3. So come to this side and click 3. So from the 3, then we are coming here to look for level 3. And then from here, you notice that it has already selected 1.1.1. But obviously, you will not have seen that. Maybe this place would have been empty like this. On your computer, it will be like that. So what we normally would do, we come here and come to this level. So which level are we now? And then we pick again from level 2, and then it will pick the second one. Then come to number style from this level, and then you pick, these are the number styles I want. So sorry, I should have put the point before. So put point there before you come and select your number style. Okay, so let me cancel the whole thing, and then come here. First of all, we are picking level. We put point, type it yourself. And then again, we are picking level 2. Then we put our point again. Now come to number style, and then say we want this kind of number style. So it will give you 1.1.1, telling you that we are in chapter 1, and then subtopic 1, and the subtopic 1. And then when we are done, and we are picking this from level 2, and then indentation. Maybe we wanted to indent up to 4, and then also put the alignment up to 5, and then that is it. And then what is left? We've already selected our space, and now we've set our headers, header 1, header 2, and header 3, and we've linked everything. So now we click OK. And so when we click OK, you see what we have here. That's it. So maybe we don't need that one. We are now starting at fresh. So we now come to this place. So we want, that's chapter 1. So I will go to enter again, chapter 2, enter again, chapter 3. That's header 1. So if I enter again, it will give me chapter 4. If I enter again and click on that, that's my header 1, which is linked to chapter. Then I'll enter again, and it's going to give me chapter 6, KNUST style. But again, you notice that the chapter 1, 2, 3, and co, they are all aligned to the left-hand side. It is because we have not modified, or we have not made some changes on it. So come and right-click on the first header style. Right-click on it, go to modify. And then the modification, we now want to set it. We want it to be in Times New Roman. We want it to be at font size of 14. We want it to be central aligned, and we want the color to be automatic, and we want it to be tight like this. And then we want the update to be automatic, and it applies to only this document. And then we click OK. So you notice that all of them are now in the middle. This is our header 2. When I point the cursor, you can see the screen tip appears. Right click on that, click modify, and then you go to again and set it up according to your university standard. So you have Times New Roman for KNUST, but these are subtopic under the chapter. So they'll be at the middle, maybe. So you want them to be at the right side, so they'll be right left aligned. And then the font size, you want them to be 12. And then the color, it should be automatic color, and you want them to be tight, then nothing is bold. And then if everything is done, you want automatic, apply to only this, and then you click OK. It's left with our header 3. This is our header 2. You can see it. Right click on it, modify, and then come again, and then say Times New Roman. We want it at font size 12. The color is automatic. Then its update is automatic, and we want it to be quite tight. And then we click on this. Now we are done with editing all the, or creating all the styles for header 1, header 2, header 3. So I'm going to come here again, the header 1, all of them bold. So yeah, I click on this, so all of them are now bold. So now when I come to my first chapter 1, I'm now going to, chapter 1, I'll start with what? Introduction. So I have introduction like this, maybe a problem statement. And then maybe I have my research questions. So, and then in that order. So if I come and I highlight on this, I'll only look for, that's header 2. So I'll come to header 2, it will automatically give me 1.1. If I highlight on problem statement and I come to header 2, you will see 1.2. If I highlight on this, it will give me 1.3. Then in that order, you see the way it has, what is it? But because I gave it indentation, that's why it shifted a little bit. Yeah, just so it will be like that. Now, if I come to my chapter 2, then you can also click on the header 2 first. So you see that to give you 2.1. That's your first subheading. We are looking at the introduction, and then we have again that. Now come and click on the header. We've already set the header. So let's say we have history. Okay. Then again, then we say maybe classes of antibiotics. Okay. You see, so you see that everything now follows 2.1, 2.2, 2.3. But classes of antibiotics, we want to have subtopics under it. And that will be 2.3.1, 2.3.2 in that order. So when we come here, then we are now moving into header 3. So header 3, we come and click, this is our header 3, as you can see. So you see that it will automatically number it 2.3.1. And let's say we are looking at carbapenems. And then we come in header 3 again. We want to look at aminoglycoside, glycoside. And then we come here again and say we are looking for other class of antibiotics. Okay, beta-lactams. So beta-lactams. So you see that You don't have to, the numbering, it can confuse you if you are dealing with a large section of, so you set your styles and you see that the numbering is now following each other, one after the other. And then in that order, you are good to go. This is why we set header 1, header 2, header 3. Now, this is where the beauty is. Let's say after the history, your supervisor said, no, after the history, you need to look at the global picture of AMR. So that should be a subtopic by itself. So it means when you go there and you just type, let's say, global picture, picture, picture of AMR, like this, what is going to happen? It means that you will have to go down and change all the numbering one by one. When are you going to finish it? You see? So all you need is, but because you've already set the style, you simply just come and go and click header 2. This is my header 2. And check something. Once you click on header 2, the rest of the numbers down automatically update itself. They will sort the update. So now it will take 2.3, and the next one that was 2.3 is now be 2.4, and it will now be 2.41, 2.42 in that order. This way, you don't suffer all the time, have to go and change all your numbering, and then in that order. So that is it for this, but we still have two more important things to add to our styles, and then figures. So come and click on your style here. You see, we don't have tables here. There's no tables anywhere. So we create a style for it. So we create this particular style and we will call it tables. Just for so we just call it tables, maybe in whichever way, and then come here and say modify. And then we come here and we look at normal, right? So the name is tables, remember. Then we come here and say we want it to be like this, Times New Roman. We want all the table captions to be aligned to the left side. And we want them to be tight, and the color is automatic. I think everything is fine. And so update it, and then we say this. Because of where my cursor was, you see, so I'm going to delete that. Or, And so let's come to an open place and say we want to create, I'm looking for that particular style, tables, okay. So we are going to create a style here called tables. Okay, so let's modify it just like I've shown you, like this. Okay, automatic, everything is okay. And that's it. Now, there's one more thing. I have created tables. So let's see. You see, the table style is here. Now, let's create another style called figures. So I'm going to call that figures. And my figures are there. Modify it to shoot. Okay, everything is in order. Automatic update. And then yeah, I think that should be normal. Yeah. And then everything is okay. So we've created that one too. So now when we come here, we have figures, we have tables, we have header 1, header 2, header 3, and then we are good. Our document is complete. So now, if we are going to insert a table, there is something we need to do. If I come here and let's say I want to insert a table under this chapter, I will have to come and say, insert a table. Okay, let's just use an example table here. I have my table here, and let's say I want to insert the table caption. Remember, when you are inserting tables, it has to, it's a reference. So you come and click on the reference, come to insert caption, the table captions. You see that automatically it gives you table 6.1. It tells you that you are inserting the table in chapter 6 because we have set the table. In your case, you may not see this. And if you don't see it linked like this, come and click on numbering. You see, the numbering, come and click on chapter starts with style. So you say you want to link the table with header 1, which is chapters, so that all the table numbering would proceed using the chapter as a reference. So we chose header 1, which is chapter 1. And how do we want it? What will be the separator? So you come and select period like this. So that will be the separator and click OK. So we have linked the table numbering to chapter as a reference. So come and click OK. The rest are just, what is it? If you, so we have auto captions. I don't want to do today. And then, so now if I come here and I say tables, you see that my table is 6.1. So I can now add whatever level. Now, if I come down here and I want to do another table, okay, you can insert the caption before the table, or the table and come and click on top. So let me insert the caption. So it's always reference. Then you come to insert caption. And then you see that automatically it tells you that we are talking about table 2, which is in chapter 6. And so I will simply just put it there, and that's it. So if I enter, I can now insert the table. I will come here, and let's say if I were having the table from somewhere, I can just copy and paste it, and then that's it. So you come and click on this, go to your, you see that automatically come to your home tab, then you click on this, then you can add the table title and whatsoever, which is here. Now, imagine you also wanted to insert a figure. Okay, so I'm going to come here, and when I'm setting the figure in chapter 6, right? I'm just giving an example. Chapter 6 may not necessarily have a figure. So we can go and say insert, or sorry, reference, come to insert. But this time around, we are inserting a figure. So come to the label, click on this drop down arrow, and come and select figures. It automatically will detect that you are in chapter 6, and that will be figure 6.1. That graph title is here. So when you click on it, you go to your home tab, and then you come and click on figures, it changes. So now, but you know, figures are always at the bottom, right? So I'm going to simply insert the figure on top. So I can come here and say I'm inserting a figure. And so let me select this figure and insert it. You see, so I have my figure. I have my figure here, well labeled. So close this. This is just an example, so that's why you are seeing this. And then my figure is here. If I want to insert another figure, then I can insert the figure again. Let's say I come to my chart here. Okay, I want to insert a pie chart or donut chart. Then I'll just click here. The figure is inserted. Now the figure label. The figure label, I will now have to come to reference and come and say insert caption, and automatically Microsoft Word will detect it as my figure 2. So I'll simply come and put here figure 2, and then I now can add it. Maybe this is a donut plot, maybe a donut chart, or I think so. So then that's it. So you click on that, go to your home tab, come to figures, then you have it properly aligned. And then this is how we set up our styles before we can zoom in to start working on our thesis, and everything will be in order. This had about 80 different graphs, charts, and about 60 something or 40 something tables. Imagine you change one table number and you have to go round and change the rest. You change one figure number and you have to go around, and if not, they will not be consistent. Turn it down, so that you are not consistent. But in this case, when immediately you remove one, the rest adjust themselves automatically. The numbering will adjust themselves, just like the way I showed you before. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is how we set up styles, and then this is how we work with our styles. Wherever you are, once you have set up the style, Microsoft can now detect wherever you are, and then the numbering will be automatic. When you remove one and you update, all the numbering will adjust by themselves, and then you are good to go. The next video, I will show you how to do internal referencing using these numbers, and in such a way that if I change any of the numbers, for instance, if I remove history and then the numbering here reshuffle, the the text, the numbers inside the text will also reshuffle so that you don't suffer when you are doing your thesis going up and down here. Some of these things can take some people 1 week. They are not able to finish just because you don't have the idea of how to be able to. I hope this has been helpful. Thank you. I will see you in another video where I will give you. I hope the video is long, but I just want you to understand the nitty-gritties. And so please bear with me. Thank you. I will see you in another video. Bye-bye. I'm planning of organizing a class where I will be, what is it? I'm going to take people through thesis, the nitty-gritties of thesis, right? And some of these technicalities. I'll also be adding some systematic review, how to do a systematic review, how to be able to write your publications, your journals, your, what is it, conference papers and everything, how to be able to compare, what is it, and then remove duplicates and all of that. I'll be doing Note 20 and of the main port for us to be able to see, and then how to be able to extract the data to add meta-analysis to it. I will show you all of that. Already, I'm in genomics, do a whole lot of data analysis in a much more professional and one training for your people, PowerPoint, all of this nitty-gritty that has to do with administrative part of thesis writing or proposal writing for big time projects. I can always come around to help. Thank you. I'll see you. My name is Bigba.